Hey there folks, welcome to another Mega Construx Masters of the Universe set review. This is of a 2020 set. This is Panther at Point Dread, one of the earlier sets in the line. This has 557 pieces and it retails for $50. In the US, you can get it cheaper. It comes with 3 micro action figures and quite a few other things. Let's see, before we talk about the builds of the set, which are in the back there, the Talon Fighter and the Point Dread Fortress, we will talk about the figures first, which are probably the highlight of any building set, pretty much. So yeah, we get Panther, Skeletor's, his feline friend there, his Panther. We get Skeletor himself, this is the battle armor version of him, and we get the Sorceress. This is the Temple of Darkness version of her, which is it's exclusive to this set, which is nice. And then you get Zoar the Falcon in white, and you get Zodak the Cosmic Enforcer, who was exclusive to this set. He does come in like a Skeletor head, so yeah. Let's talk about Battle Armor Skeletor first. He's pretty cool. He's very articulated. It's just Skeletor, but in a battle armor version. There's a battle armor He-Man that came in the Roton versus Battle Cat set. This one's very similar to that, except it's just Skeletor. In the 80s, this was a real version of him, where if you tapped his chest, it would mimic damage. So yeah, it's like armor. He does have a purple axe, and he's a little bit darker purple this time. He's got a lot of articulation, like anywhere that you can see that moves, like his legs, his arms, hands, his head, his waist turns. He can do a lot of poses, and yeah, it's a great figure. Really cool to get him in this set. We also get Panther. Really cool. There is a flocked version of Panther available in I think it's a $15 little pack. And it's basically, what flocked means is that it has hair, like fabric hair, which is cool. So you can get this version, which is just plastic, and then there's the other one, which has the fabric in it. So that's cool. This one's really awesome. Obviously, you can put Skeletor on Panther, make him ride him if you want to. Yeah, it's cool to get Panther. He's pretty iconic, and he's really cool looking. He's got a saddle. You can stick Skeletor on here. Panther is basically the same as Battle Cat. It's very similar, except there's a few differences, especially in the face. The face is a lot meaner. It's a lot more accurate to Panther. He got lots of articulation. He does have a Battle Cat helmet in a teal, dark teal color. It's just the Battle Cat like head, but it's in blue. That's cool. You can put that on him. And yeah, Panther and Skeletor are attacking the fortress, and you have to fight back with the Sorceress, who is my favorite character of the set. And she is just one of my favorite characters from Masters of the Universe. Like, just in general, she is just so cool. So powerful, so wise, so awesome. This version of her is white. This is from the mini comics. The original version of the Sorceress appears in the Castle Grayskull set, which is the orange and blue version of her. So that's like the original outfit. This is the newer version. She has a staff, which is pretty cool. She does have some wings, amazing head with the headdress, and she's got great articulation. Pretty much she's all white, except for her skin. And yeah, she's defending Point Dread from another attack. So that's cool. Very nice to get a different version of her. We do get a little perch with Zoar, so the Sorceress can transform into the Falcon bird. And that's this. It's in white. It matches her pretty well. And lastly, we get Zodak, who is a neutral force. So he helps both Skeletor and He-Man on quite a few different occasions. And he is probably the most powerful being in the series, other than the Sorceress. I'd say the Sorceress, Zodak, and Skeletor are the most powerful forces in Eternia. But yeah, he's awesome. He's got a gun. He's very, very cool, very accurate to the original figure. Very nice to get him. and he's just really well done. I like his head, and yeah, great figure. Those are the mini or micro action figures, I should say. You also get a brick separator in case you, you know, run into trouble, I guess, when you build this. And also, I'll mention this a little bit later. There's something I wanted to mention, which we'll get to in a minute. Let me move these figures around so we can talk about what you actually build in this set. Also, one more thing. The characters come with a little display stand. So these little sand green plates, they are all for the minifigs. And this is for Panther, this big one. You'll notice the Sorceress has one of these, because she doesn't really stand up that well unless you have her on the stand. So there you go. That's why she's on that. Let me take a look at this weapons rack. This is probably the most boring part of the set, but it's cool. It's a lot of weapons. If you have the Castle Grayskull, then this is like basically another one of the weapons racks. The one in Grayskull is a little bit different, but this is like has blue weapons, and you build some of them up and you put them on like a rack here. It's cool. It was actually a lot of pieces, surprisingly. I think my favorite weapon on here is definitely the sword. That is awesome. So yeah, it's cool to get that. If your characters run out of weapons, you've got this whole rack. So that's awesome. There's not much else to this, so I'll just put it off to the side. Let's take a look at the, you know what, let's take a look at the Talon Fighter. This thing is awesome. I've always been a big fan of this ship. I've seen it in the Filmation animated series, the original He-Man series. It was only in 4 episodes, but it was awesome whenever it was in any of them, because the only one that could pilot it was He-Man, so he's the only one that could really fly it, and he just whistled and it came to him, and it was really cool. It's almost like this jet fighter military craft. It looks so awesome. It's got these bright colors and I believe this is supposed to be replicating the toy of it, like the actual ship, like the original version from the 80s. So that's cool. It's got all these great engine detailing. It's got this cool radar dish, these missile launchers. There's also actual launchers. Hopefully this doesn't fly everywhere, but there is actual like missiles that will shoot out of here. You just got to put it in here and then it will lock in place. Be careful with those. It's actually really dangerous. Just be careful. The color scheme is great. It's got this yellow with the orange and blue and some like red, and it looks so great. It does have a cockpit. This opens up and you can actually fit 2 figures in there, which is great. It's got some printed panels. You can put, you know, Tila or Zodak or even Skeletor or like He-Man. Anyone you want you can put in there, and they'll be pretty secure. Just put their hands in here and then they'll just sit in there, and it's really, really cool. It looks really nice. It's got these little like claws on the bottom too for landing, and it turned out really well. Like, it looks so great. Definitely my favorite vehicle of the Masters of the Universe. It's even better than the Wind Raider, in my opinion. It just looks so aggressive and intimidating, and yet really like a classic ship. So I love this. This is the best part of the set for me. And to attach to that is the Point Dread Fortress. So this is basically a piece of, like a small piece of the Castle Grayskull set. And this is supposed to go on top of that, and the Talon Fighter goes on top of this, so it's like this big old thing. And it looks great. It's got these, like, nice pieces here. It's got a window. It does have some stairs on the side. Unfortunately, the figures don't really stand on the side of the stairs. It doesn't work. It's just not big enough. But there is some things on the inside. For instance, there's this big computer, and it's got all these great printed pieces, which is a big plus for these mega Construx sets. There are no stickers. It's all printed, which is awesome. Lego, take notes. And this is great. My favorite part of this is this tiny little record. It says Masters of the Universe, and it's very tiny, but you can see it, and it says it in big purple right there that looks so great. Unfortunately, there's not much room to do anything in here. It's just kind of this computer terminal. That's kind of it. However, there is clips for weapons on the back, which is good. I suppose this is not really good on its own. You probably want the Castle Grayskull to go on, like, for this to go on top of that. You probably want that. But if you don't have the money for that, then this is basically a mini version of that. And lastly, the final feature of this is that the Talon Fighter can rest on top of the Point Dread. Sorry you can't see that, it's a little hard to see. But yeah, you can rest the fighter on top of it, and it will sit there until it is called for. So yeah, that's it. This was really fun, but really challenging to build. Like, it took a long time, so just be careful when if you're planning to buy this. Just be a little bit, you know, careful when you're building, because it does take a while. But yeah, it's a really fun build, both of these, especially the Talon Fighter. That was the best part for me. But that's the set. This is not my favorite of the Mega Construx He-Man sets. My favorite one is the Monstroid, which I'll get very soon. That is the set with She-Ra and Hordak, which I really hyped to get. That one's probably my favorite set, but this one is my second favorite. I think it's really well worth it, especially at a lower price. If you love Skeletor, it's a great set to get him. If you want a Sorceress, great set to get her. If you want a cool spaceship, definitely get this one. It's got some great stuff. You get a little piece of the Grayskull, so if you want a little bit of a sneak peek with that, that's great. Some cool weapons come with this. Lots of great characters, so I would recommend the set. 10 out of 10. I have no real issues with this. And I think it's even better, probably, if you put it with the Grayskull. Let me know, do you guys like these sets? I know it's a little bit of a mixed bag, especially with Lego. It's like a comparison. Also, I forgot to mention, if you have the Grayskull, on the bottom, they give you these 3 bricks, like brick builds, and you put them on the bottom of the Point Dread, and this is what attaches to the top of Grayskull's tower. So, yeah, if you have it, then you can put them together. If not, then you can just, you know, toss these aside. Also, one more thing. Sorry, there's a lot of one more things. They give you a lot of extra pieces, which is, a thing. So, yeah, that was weird, but okay. That's just fun, I guess. You can build your own stuff, which is great. That's Panther at Point Dread. A great set, great price, great figures. Maybe a little bit challenging for young people. It's a lot, especially if you're coming from Lego building, which is typically easy, but yeah, it'll take a little bit of a it's a little bit of a switch. So just be aware of that when you're building this. I love it. Great set. I definitely recommend it. If you're able to get it, great. And that's really all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed this. I will have more Mega Construx stuff coming, like reviews, like slowly they'll be coming out. Definitely plan to get that She-Ra set as soon as I can. That will be coming out, and then we'll go from there. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Take care, and remember, we have the power.